Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Choda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. In this video, I'll talk to you about what's keeping the president busy, some important comments from the Attorney General of the United States and the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. In fact, Mitch McConnell not only talked about the results of the election, the new administration as he called it, but he also commented on the $908 billion bipartisan stimulus package that was actually presented today. So I'll cover all of those things and I'll also cover comments from President-elect Joe Biden. Let's just jump right in. On your screen, you see some tweets from the President of the United States, from President Trump, in the past 24 to 48 hours, essentially challenging the validity of the election, talking about asking his viewers to watch other networks and pay attention to news sources that essentially challenge the validity of the election. Listen, regardless of where you stand with this, I'm reporting the news and I want you to know what is the focus for the President of the United States right now. And I want to be as clear as I can for us on the Ignition Time channel, and for me personally, it's not about the red or the blue, it's about the red, white and blue. I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I'm American. That stance is more important than ever right now, us to remember that we are Americans first before we are Democrats or Republicans. So also speaking of where we are as Americans, here's an article from the Associated Press that was released today where the Attorney General of the United States, who's a supporter of the president and who was appointed by the president, Attorney General Barr said no evidence of fraud that would change the outcome of the election. Yes, you heard this on Ignition Time from the Associated Press. Attorney General William Barr was in an interview with the Associated Press and he said that U.S. attorneys and FBI agents have been working to follow up on specific complaints. And this is what Attorney General Barr told the Associated Press. He said, to date, we have not seen fraud on a scale that could have affected a different outcome in the election. This is very important from the Attorney General of the United States. Now let's shift gears to the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. And the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, you see this tweet on your screen from Sahil Kapoor. And Sahil is the national political reporter for NBC News. And Sahil reported that the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell alluded to the new administration that will take power in January. He was talking and he mentioned new administration. So essentially, it's a very indirect comment. And the Senate Majority Leader is very careful with the way he phrases things. He's very careful with what he says. But as Sahil pointed out as you can see, as Sahil correctly pointed out, this is an oblique comment from the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, but it is definitely the Senate Majority Leader inching closer to the acknowledgement of the results of the 2020 presidential elections. Now, the Senate Majority Leader also commented on the stimulus relief package. So the Senate Majority Leader said that a COVID relief package will depend on what the new administration wants. Very interesting. Let's roll the segment and you can watch what Mitch McConnell said for yourself. Let's watch.
And I think we all know that after the first of the year, there's likely to be a discussion about some additional package of some size next year, depending upon what the new administration wants to pursue.
So in another tweet on your screen, this was reported by Jake Sherman at Politico. Jake reported that McConnell said the only real way to get COVID relief is on the government funding bill. Keep in mind that on the 11th of December, government funding runs out. So there needs to be an extension of government funding. So Mitch McConnell said, hey, the only way that'll happen, stimulus relief will happen, is if it becomes part of the government funding bill. So basically we have 10 days to go, guys. Today is the 1st of December. So we have 10 days to go for both stimulus relief and government funding. And neither bill has been released at this moment in time. In the meantime, here are important comments from the President-elect of the United States, Joe Biden. He said, my message to everyone struggling right now is this: help is on the way. And by the way, President-elect Joe Biden did indicate earlier that whatever happens during the lame duck session would essentially be temporary, and we could be looking at a larger stimulus once the new administration is sworn in. This, of course, depends on the balance of power in the Senate. So it's very important. Speaking of the Senate, another extremely important comment from the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. You see this tweet on your screen. Jake Sherman reported that the Senate Majority Leader reacted to the $908 billion COVID emergency relief plan. And this is what he said: we don't have time to waste time. very cryptic comments. But again, the Senate Majority Leader is the kind of person who chooses his words very carefully. And he said, we don't have time to waste time. He said he's going to put together a targeted relief bill. Now, my interpretation of this is that the Senate Majority Leader called it a waste of time and that he's going to put together something targeted and he's going to try and jam that through. Guess what? I don't think House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are going to buy that. Let's take a look at what Mitch McConnell said. He said, and I quote, "We just don't have time to waste time." Let's roll the tape.
We just don't have time to waste time. We have a couple of weeks left here. Obviously, it does require bipartisan support to get out of the Congress, but it requires a presidential signature. And this government is in place for sure for the next month.
So that's where things stand, everybody. Some activity today, some movement today, but guess what? The Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is entrenched. Joe Biden wants a large stimulus. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi also seems entrenched. I don't think House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is going to call the Senate Majority Leader and say, whatever you want, Mitch. I don't think that's going to happen. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, you will find a link to all of our resources in the description section below. So I just want our viewers and subscribers to understand that even though this is a $908 billion plan, approximately $550 billion is repurposed money from the CARES Act. Remember that money that US Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin essentially pulled back from the Federal Reserve. So really the new money is right around $360 billion. This is something that the Republicans can indeed find digestible. The question is, will the Democrats find that digestible? On your screen, you'll see a tweet from Carl Quintanilla at CNBC and a response to that tweet from Heather Long at the Washington Post. Carl wrote, McConnell said that COVID relief and government funding will likely come in one package. I reported this earlier. Now, here's something interesting. This $908 billion proposal, whether it happens or not, it creates an interesting political dynamic for the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. And by the way, you will hear this first on the Ignition Time channel. And I want you to know that we appreciate you being a viewer and subscriber. But if you appreciate the effort that goes into gathering all this information, presenting it to you, all I ask is you please click the like button, please subscribe, please enable notifications. So here's a response. Here's something that Heather Long said. She said that this was encouraging news, the $908 billion proposal that I've covered earlier on our channel from moderate Republicans and Democrats. But the fact that the Senate Majority Leader supports including additional stimulus as part of a government funding package. And if you watched my other videos today, the Senate Majority Leader basically said, we don't have a lot of time to waste time, which tells me that he's not going to agree to the $908 billion proposal. That's my interpretation. Keep in mind, President-elect Joe Biden and the next US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen have called for urgent action now. Biden has called this a start. So what is the bottom line with all of this? On your screen, you'll see a tweet from Adam Gentleson. Adam Gentleson is the former Deputy Chief of Staff for Senator Harry Reid. And he said something that I thought was very interesting. He said, here's what's going to happen next. McConnell will jam Democrats with a skinny COVID relief along with, as part of the government spending bill. He will come in far below the bipartisan $908 billion bill, which, by the way, he already alluded to. Again, you're hearing this first on Ignition Time. You'll hear all the other channels blowing up with the fact that we are seeing a $1 trillion bill. Well, that's because they don't understand the big picture. You're here because you understand the big picture. You see, I want my viewers and subscribers to understand that someone who's inexperienced, somebody who doesn't understand the big picture, focuses on what's happening now, what's happening now, what's coming now, what's coming now. But I think if you want to really understand what's going on, you need to look beneath the surface. You need to look behind the scenes. You need to have a three-dimensional, often a five-dimensional view of the entire situation, which is what I give you on this channel. So here's what Adam said. McConnell will jam Democrats with the skinny stimulus relief as part of the government spending bill. He'll come in far below the bipartisan proposal released today. The net effect of all the negotiation, which was done by Chris Coons, one of the senators who put together this $908 billion bill. And keep in mind, Chris Coons was part of the Problem Solvers Caucus. So this is what Adam wrote. The net effect of Coons' negotiations will be lowering the bar to make it easy for McConnell to clear. Basically, what that would mean is McConnell will say, hey, they wanted $908 billion. That's not happening, but I'm going to come close and give you $500, $600 billion, because $900 billion lowers the bar from the $1.9 to $2.2 trillion that was being discussed before before the election. But now this might actually make things easier for the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, while creating an effect that basically causes a lot of the efforts of the bipartisan senators and the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's efforts to get a big stimulus. It could result in both of their efforts backfiring if the Senate Majority Leader tries to jam in a narrow stimulus now. But could we have a situation where we do indeed get a narrow stimulus in the next 10 days? Anything is possible. Keep in mind that Washington, D.C. is the kind of place where things happen very slowly until they happen like this, because political priorities are aligned. Could we see a small stimulus now and then a much larger stimulus next year? That is a possibility. Meanwhile, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi weighed in on this whole situation. She released a statement. You'll see part of that statement on yours thanks to Jake Sherman from Politico. And this is what Speaker Pelosi wrote. Secretary Mnuchin said he would be reviewing the proposal Leader Schumer and I made to Leader McConnell and Leader McCarthy last night, and the bipartisan Senate proposal unveiled today. In other words, there are two separate proposals. One is a bipartisan Senate proposal and the proposal that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi sent to U.S. Secretary Mnuchin. She wrote, this House Speaker Pelosi wrote, additional COVID relief is long overdue and must be passed in the lame duck session. Now, if you thought all of this was confusing, somewhat newsworthy, what I'm about to show you now is going to blow your mind even further. The lawyers from President Trump's campaign, Rudy Giuliani and Jenna Ellis, have issued a statement basically lashing out and attacking the Attorney General of the United States. Yes, you heard that right. The Attorney General of the United States, Bill Barr, has been essentially admonished in a press release by President Trump's attorneys. So you have the President of the United States attorneys lashing out at the Attorney General, who's an appointee of the President of the United States. On your screen, you'll see a tweet from Andrew Feinberg, who covers the White House, and he essentially highlighted the statement from Rudy Giuliani and Jenna Ellis, and the statement is on your screen right now. You'll see the entire statement on your screen. With all due respect to the Attorney General, there hasn't been any semblance of a Department of Justice investigation. We have gathered ample evidence of illegal voting in at least 6 states, which they have not examined. We have many witnesses swearing under oath they saw crimes being committed in connection with voter fraud. As far as we know, not a single one has been interviewed by the DOJ. The Justice Department also has not audited any voting machines or used their subpoena powers to determine the truth. Nonetheless, we will continue our pursuit of the truth through the judicial system and state legislatures and continue towards the Constitution's mandate and ensuring that every legal vote is counted and every illegal vote is not. Again, with the greatest respect to the Attorney General, his opinions appear to be without any knowledge or investigation of the substantial irregularities and evidence of systemic fraud. Just unbelievable. Gosh, let me know what you think in the comment section below. You'll also find a link to all of our resources in the description section below. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. If you don't know anything about me, check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. Get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000, and you'll get added to our SMS alerts list moving forward. Now, if you want, you can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you'll get added to our email list going forward. You'll get breaking news, you'll get alerts. If I release any training programs, you'll get information about those as well. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time that you want. No worries about that. Now, keep in mind, sometimes YouTube does not always send out notifications on time when we release new content. All you have to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. And then you can visit the homepage of our channel, and then you can watch our videos at any point in time that you want. You're not dependent on notifications from YouTube. Speaking of notifications, if you want to follow us on Instagram, follow us at ignition_time. That's our handle, ignition_time on Instagram, and you'll get exclusive news and content on Instagram. Speaking of exclusive news and content, you can get breaking news alerts from us on Twitter. Simply follow us at ignition_time on Twitter as well, and you'll get breaking news and alerts from us on Twitter, so make sure you do that. As always, if you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. Please ignite that subscribe button. Please ignite that notification button because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Please share this video with friends and family if you learn something new, because our goal is to give you honest news, true news. We're not going to give you any false hope or hype on this channel. This is not a one-dimensional channel. This is a channel about the country, about the economy, and about money. This is not just a channel on stimulus news and unemployment benefits. This channel will help you get to the next level because I have big goals, big aspirations for my viewers, for my subscribers, and for the community. You'll find a link to all of our resources in the description section below, so you can verify any of the content. You can check out the content on your own at any point in time that you want. And please comment below. Engage with our community. Our community is bipartisan, it's respectful, it's intelligent. You might make some new friends in our community. So make sure you engage in a healthy debate, a healthy, respectful debate in our community. Thank you so much for watching. One last time, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.